Boy, oh boy, am I glad I bought the dip heavy Thursday morning. Woo! That was a buy and a low. Let's go. And
oh boy, this guy is delusional. Here we go again with Meet Kevin trying to time the market. Here we go again. So let's just go ahead and break this down and get into it, because I told you guys this numerous times. This guy is going to get a ton of people hurt. So let's just go ahead and talk about it. So he buys the dip on Thursday, posts it on his Twitter, and he happens to get lucky. The market goes up on Friday. Now the market's going up again. And this is good. I like this scenario. Because hopefully this humbles him. Because as we know, the way that the market goes in the short term, anything can happen that can make the market go down drastically. But remember, we are in here for the long term. Clearly, he's not in here for the long term. This guy has turned into a full-blown swing trader / day trader, which is weird because he was not talking like this last year. So it's amazing how much this guy has flip-flopped. It really is. And let me tell you guys something about Meet Kevin, okay? So I'm sure you guys saw that whole ticket thing, right? Basically, he made a post about him like getting a ticket from a cop. And the reason why I'm telling you guys this is because this guy is the definition of somebody who just can't handle fame. And not everybody can handle fame. Some people, you know, that fame will really expose who you are. So this guy, Meet Kevin, makes a tweet, pulled up to a motorcycle cop at a red light. My passenger said, I didn't have the balls to floor it anyway. He said he floored it anyway in his Model S Tesla. Like, you're just bragging. And then he said, here's what happened next pick. Worth it. And he gets a ticket from a cop. Why would you do that? Like, what are you proving? What's the point? Like, he's the definition of somebody that just can't handle fame. He really is. So you've got that. And then you've got this man, oh boy, I'm so glad I just bought the dips, making videos about him buying the dip on Thursday. But here's what he didn't tell you. He lost a crap ton of money at the beginning of the year because he panic sold. He didn't tell you that part. He just wants to come out of nowhere and tell you his wins. He doesn't tell you the full story. But if you've been following him for a while, you can see the full story. This guy lost a crap ton of money because he panic sold literally at the bottom. He panic sold on January 22nd, which was kind of almost the bottom at one point. And he panic sold all his stocks. Then he waits for the 30-day wash rule. Then he buys again on February 25th or whatever it was. And now stocks are up for now. Who knows if that'll last? And remember, we don't care. We don't care if stocks are up, down, because we know in the long term they'll go up as long as you're investing in good companies. So we really don't care. But if you're a trader like him, then fine. I guess he cares. But it would be really funny if something happened tonight and the market went even lower tomorrow than it did on January 26th. That would be really funny. And it could happen as the Ukraine and Russia thing is escalating. So it's just crazy how this guy thinks. And it's funny because he's trying to justify his moves. This is basically what he said. He's come out with a series of YouTube videos and he's trying to justify his moves by saying that he thinks that because of the Ukraine and Russia conflict, the Fed is going to U-turn. So he just proved right there that he knows nothing about stocks and he contradicted himself, and that us long-term investors know way more about stocks than him, and what we did was smart. Because guess what? If you didn't panic sell and you just held your stocks, if he's right, and if the Fed is not going to be as hawkish because of what's going on in the Ukraine and the Russia conflict, and they are not going to raise interest rates as aggressively as people think, and the market does rally, then the long-term holders actually win, not the traders. Now, sure, if you're Meet Kevin, if you got $20 million, fine. But if you're some of those regular newbie traders who follow Meet Kevin, you are getting obliterated. And you're probably going to continue to get obliterated. You know why? Because even though Meet Kevin is back in the market because he thinks the Fed is going to be more dovish. And so even though he thinks that the Fed is now going to be dovish because of Russia and Ukraine, that doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to be right. He's just guessing. You cannot predict this stuff. So now let's break everything down, because he tries to trick everybody by being overly complicated, and he knows the average investor can't process or follow all of this because he's just overcomplicating it. Okay, so fine. Let's break all this down very simply. Let's break down the timeline. January 18th. Meet Kevin says, I'm buying the dip. I'm not leaving. I think the market's going to be great. I think all the advertising companies like Trade Desk and Google and blah, blah, blah are going to have a great year. He's buying the dip. 4 days later, January 22nd, he sells all of his stocks, completely confirming that he's trying to time the market. He thinks the Fed is going to be hawkish. He thinks the market is going to be severely impacted by interest rates. So he panic sells everything, right? Then he refuses to apologize to his followers for leading them off. And he continues to make all these YouTube videos spreading FUD, talking about how bad the market's going to be and how tough of a year it's going to be, right? So that's a flip-flop right there, right? Fast forward to about 30 days later, he now doesn't have to worry about the wash sale rule. Okay? Now he switches his entire thesis. Now all of a sudden he's bullish on the market. Now he's saying that because of this Russian-Ukraine conflict, the Fed is going to be more dovish instead of hawkish. So now he's justifying himself getting back in the market. Oh, now it's okay to get back in the market because of this Russian-Ukraine thing. The Fed's going to be dovish, which means Papa J. Powell's going to be on our side. No, do not fall for this man's tricks. He completely contradicted himself. And me, Kevin, is the walking example of why you should not try to time the market. He just proved it. He tried to time the market and he failed. And now he's trying to justify it by making up some bull crap when all you had to do was just hold your stocks. Google, Microsoft, Apple, Facebook ain't going nowhere. Okay? A lot of these great stocks in the market ain't going nowhere. They're just down huge. SoFi's down, but it's a great company. There's a lot of great stuff. Netflix is down, but it's a great company. Why are you trying to time the market? Didn't Warren Buffett and some of these other legendary investors already tell you that you can't time the market? And so I just want to point that out because me, Kevin, is slick. He can really trick you. But that's why I want to break down that timeline so you guys can see. This guy literally just proved why you shouldn't time the market. And here you go with him not being able to handle fame. He wants to get on his Instagram. Oh, thank God I bought the dip. I'm such a genius. I'm so glad I bought the dip. Look how smart I am. No, you're not. You're actually not. You're not. You tried to time the market. You failed. And now you're trying to make up some complicated reason of why you're getting back in the market when the honest truth is everyone should learn from me, Kevin. Do not follow what me, Kevin says. Follow what he does. Look at what he's doing. Actually, no, don't follow what he does. I'm sorry. No, don't follow what he says. Don't follow what he does. That example doesn't work. To do as I say, not as I do, whatever, that don't work in his case. Don't do anything because this guy is just something else. But that's my breakdown on this guy. Like I said, I am trying to save as many investors as I can from this guy because he is going to get a lot of investors hurt. When the market's down, I'm still invested. When the market's up, I'm still invested. When there's a breaking war coming on, I'm still invested. I don't care what's happening. I am still invested because at the end of the day, I believe that 10, 15, 20 years from now, the United States will be better than it is today. And that's why I'm investing in the stock market. And if you like this video, definitely feel free to subscribe. Definitely feel free to give this video a like. It definitely helps me. And I will see you guys in the next one.